My name is Mandy Chan, and I'm a developer advocate in the Google Assistant team. It's been awesome to hear everyone talk about voice on mobile this episode. As an Android developer, you can connect the helpfulness of Google Assistant to your existing Android app through App Actions. App Action enables you to surface critical features of your Android app to users through voice. It also provides a more natural way for users to directly access your app's content. Speaking about Android developers who build app actions, I'm happy to introduce Eliza, an Android developer herself, to the show. Welcome, Eliza. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and who you are?
Thank you, Mandy. I'm happy to be here. I'm an Android developer at Explicity, which is a tech creative agency, and I am also a Google developer expert for the Google Assistant.
That's awesome. And you mentioned you are a GDE. Can you tell us a bit about what a GDE is and what they do?
The GDE program is a global network of technology experts that are very active in the community.
And we really appreciate of our GDs who help support and grow our developer community over the years, like yourself. And can you tell us a bit about your experience as an Android developer building for the Google Assistant? And what prompted you into this voice space in your projects?
Building for Android and building for voice is actually very different. People don't talk with if and else. So when you start building for voice, you have to rewire your brain. With, of course, great challenges comes great fun. And that's how I started building for both because I enjoyed very much. And when I first started, the possibility of connecting the two platforms was just not there yet. But I think that the marriage of those two actually has great benefits.
Yeah, I think building voice is definitely different for a lot of the developers. It doesn't matter you come from web or mobile, and but for the end user, the experience itself is pretty natural. It's just conversational. So, what were some of the tools and resources you used to get started on building your first app actions?
I use the documentation a lot, and I also use the codelabs.google website. And of course, Stack Overflow has been a very loyal friend no matter what you build.
Yeah, Stack Overflow is a great resources for getting help from the community, like the GDEs, and including our team, the developer relation team. We are actively there, helping and answering different questions that our developer community may have. And so with all this experience you have as an Android developer, can you share your thoughts or ideas on what use cases stand out to you for voicification and will really benefits the mobile end users?
I don't remember where, but I read somewhere that if the user needs more than three taps to perform their action, it's actually a good use case for voicification. And I'm sure that there are exceptions to that, but I think that overall is a good rule to have. In general, our lives have got so busy that I think that everyone appreciates a good hands-free experience. And we should never forget that not everyone has a good eyesight or two arms. So people with different impairments are actually the ones that can benefit the most from this.
I agree with you. When the voice experience is done correctly, it's a magical experience in both scenarios that you just mentioned. Speaking of improvements for the end users, we would love to also know for the developers like you, what improvements you might want to see in the app actions.
To answer that, we need to keep in mind that the app actions have been a very new feature. And I've seen great improvement during the last year. And when I first started, for instance, about a year and a half ago, it wasn't possible to give synonyms. And I think that for voice, this is actually crucial. So if you wanted your user to be able to order warm coffee and a hot coffee, that was not quite possible. Or it was possible, but not like it would give you some headaches. So now this is actually very easy. You can just provide an array and everything is done. Some more improvements that I would like to see is mostly the documentation. It got improved, but not that much yet. So finding some stuff, for instance, and navigating through that can still be very time consuming. The last improvement that I would like to see is about testing and making it easier because right now You first need to sign up as a developer. Then you need to upload your bundle, and then you can use the app actions testable. And the first two steps might sound very easy for people, including myself, but we need to keep in mind that the Google Play payment doesn't accept payments from all of the countries. So a lot of people that want to get started with that actually can't because they can't sign up as developers. And for the third one, the app actions testable, I think that it's good, but there is still some room for improvement.
I love all this feedback. I will definitely share them with our team to keep improving the developer experience, whether that's documentation, sample, or tooling. Lastly, in honor of this incredible episode to celebrate International Women's Days and our achievements, maybe you can share a bit about maybe one woman in your career that who has inspired you and support you.
It would be unfair to many to just say one name. I think that first of all, it's all of the developer advocates who inspired me from very early on in my career. And some of them, including you, were actually there to help me later on. And throughout the years, I think that the biggest motivation and inspiration that I found was within the Android community. It's a really unique feeling because an achievement of each one of us is actually celebrated by all. Those are pretty amazing ladies. And lastly, but definitely not least, it's going to be Amanda Cavallaro, who is also a Google Assistant GDE. And somehow we just find a way to motivate each other always.
Right, I remember Amanda. I think Amanda is actually one of the existing GD who refer and recommended you to our assistant GD program. So we all know having career support and inspiration is so critical for anyone in any career. So personally, for me, I'm also a strong believer in giving back. I got into this space in 2016, and at the time, there's already a few role model in this space, and one of them she was a conversational designer at Google at the time, and she encouraged me to apply for Google, and that's how I get to where I am. Sometimes it's helpful to have others see in you what you see in yourself, and I really like one quote called "Empower Woman empowers woman." Um, I think every one of us in this space, we should look around and see how you can help them. Doesn't matter if it's resources or connections. You never know what impact you would have made for someone else in this space who just started out.
I like to think that way as well. And every action is like throwing a pebble in the water. So you never know who those ripples are actually going to touch.
Yes, I like that metaphor. Elisa, it's been fantastic to check with you and get your insights as an Android developer, how you build for app actions. And we are excited to see what you build next.
Thank you, Mandy. Bye.
Back to you, Sylvia.